Yeah, happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to Change Your Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. We got an awesome show tonight. Tonight we'll be discussing something that a lot of times people talk about it, but don't go really in depth about it because I guess to try to avoid maybe offending people, hurting people's feelings. But it's more so, I think the conversation is needed because we have a lot of young people, especially this whole generation. I would say that maybe 10 to 35 group of young black men. They're real into the hair, and it's braided, locked, just woke up out the bed, whatever, and everything. And it's however you do it, how you do it. But I want to have a discussion because outside of you coming out of your house, you got something called the world. And the night show we're discussing something that I think I've heard it many a times. You can't judge me by how I look,
right?
And I want to just see everybody's hear everybody's opinion on it. I'm going to share mine, and I thought we have a real good discussion tonight. Before we get started, I want to say what's up to my awesome producer, DJ Lab.
What's good, brother? Best day of the week, right?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. We're going to get it crack-a-lacking, man.
Hey,
guy called me today. I can send him your number.
Okay.
About you need a radio independent artist.
Okay.
Did you get in hear from him?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody called me, Mr. Clean or something.
I don't know what
okay.
but yeah, I told him, hey, man, I'm on the chunk.
Right.
I'm gonna get you to the man that can do it.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
I talked to him.
It just ran across my mind, Lab.
I'm glad you said it because I was sitting there going, how you get my number?
That was me.
Appreciate you.
That was me.
I appreciate
What's going on? Who's that? Alex Roblox. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it wrong. I'm trying to read the letters and everything. Again, this is Change Your Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. Tonight we're discussing You Can't Judge Me by How I Look. Right now, we stream live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Twitter. The main hub is the Change Your Lives YouTube channel, where we have over 400, maybe 500 videos. And we switched it up. This year is more of a fatherly parenting advice channel, even coming from a black father perspective. Still a motivational channel and everything, but we're talking about more topics in regards to just again from a black father perspective, even a mature black male perspective. We're talking about it, but we still be talking the same thing with parenting, family, dating, professional advice, things like that. But that's what we kind of shifted the channel to. But again, this subject in particular, You Can't Judge by How I Look, is something that me being a mentor and also being a father of 4 sons. I know how it is where everybody, wants to, to express themselves.
Right.
And there have been, no shortage of, just looking at, different original ethnic ideals.
Before we get started, brother,
talk to me.
You gotta tell us where you got that fly hat from.
Oh man, hey, this is from a girl, Maisha, man, at Maduro Crowns. Look up Maduro Crowns on Instagram. Maduro Crowns. I know I'm saying it right. Maduro Crowns on Maduro Crowns on Instagram.
Okay.
That's it. MADUROCRONS. Maduro Crowns on Instagram. But yeah, man, this is a custom hat what nobody in the galaxy got. This is my birthday cap, baby.
Not in the galaxy.
Yeah, in the galaxy, man.
So they can't get that. That's a one of one.
Hell no. Only Pooch.
That's right. I just wanted to,
Nah, she hooked. That's my homegirl, man. She hooked me up, man. And but give a shout out. Check out her page on Instagram. She's solid, man. Custom hats and everything. We're doing it. She can put all kind of stuff, all kind of flavor on there.
Okay.
All kind of exotic designs and stuff like that. But she on point with it. Shout out this cigar, man. It's a Fat Bottom Betty. Check out if you're on the south side of Atlanta, go to Smoke City Cigars, man. Holler at Seville. Let her, let her know Deonte sent you, man. But yeah, check them out too. Smoke City Cigars. They're on Tara Boulevard. I don't know if they had Lovejoy Hampton. But man, they got a real nice, selection in there. But I picked these up, man, the other day. And everything. Fat Bottom Betty, man. Yeah, tastes like one too.
Just like that.
We always get off fucking topic.
Just like that.
Okay.
If you
What
were
we got here?
wondering.
My daughter just told me the other day that 9 out of 10 of her friends have no father in their lives. I can see that. And the thing of it is just when we're rebranding the channel, I am the father of four sons, and I know a lot of times people need to be able to share advice. We got a unique fraternity, but also a small fraternity. We talk about involve black fathers. So it's not just for that, but just also just kick advice, kick opinions, and have these kind of discussions. Mm-hmm. Because I know one side of being an actual youth mentor that you don't want to kind of shift somebody's individuality, but you don't live in a bubble.
Right.
And a lot of times, things will come up where we steer kids to do this and do that, but we may have kind of, closed them off from particular things because how we feel.
Right.
Because things have changed. We get older, we become the OGs and stuff like that. But then some things still say the same. So that's why we'll have discussions like this, and this is for even the young people, the parents and everybody. But and I do want everybody to know before we go any further, I got it pinned everywhere. It should be on the actual TikTok, but I know it's not on the Instagram. The call-in show. This is a call-in show, so you're welcome to call in. The number is 678-740-9894. Again, the call-in number is 678-740-9894. One more time, 678-740-9894. Feel free to call in.
Did that one good.
I did it good. Hey, man.
Getting the flow of
I just be here like 999. I'm getting it, man. But let me ask you a question. How's everybody else shows? Are they getting a lot of calls in? It just varies.
The person who gets the most calls is Dewan. He gets the most calls.
Yeah, he must have damn smooth. Okay.
Right. He gets the most calls.
I can't get calls like Dewan. That's why.
You hire get calls too. I think they just nervous about talking on that phone. It goes not to how they look, but how they sound. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Dewan the people's champ.
Right.
So,
he is the people's champ. He be having it ringing out the hood.
Shout out to Dewan because we were on Tuesday, West Side Stories, and then on Wednesday we got a Misfits of Comedy. So y'all make sure y'all go to Misfits Radio, Misfits TV. Look it up on YouTube. Look it up on Instagram. Check out the shows on there and everything. So got a lot of great shows. But right now you're in here with Deonte Burden. We're gonna change some lives this particular hour.
That's right.
And we're having these conversations. Me being a youth mentor, it's interesting. About 2 weeks ago, I am a member of 100 Black Men, and we have our flagship program we call Rites of Passage. And what we do is in Rites of Passage is we get kids from 8th grade through 12th grade, following the whole process through. They stay in the whole time, and we teach them just financial literacy, etiquette, grooming, how to dress, how to travel. The thing of it is, you're a brother with 100, we're well educated, well traveled, well spoken, all that good stuff.
Right.
And we groom the young men to be there. So we got that, and then we have the collegiate arm, the emerging arm, but that's our flagship program.
Okay.
And with 140 some chapters and 100 Black Men, I think we've been 3-time chapter of the year. You know what I'm saying? So it's a proven product.
Right.
And so with that said, they do a pretty good job. I'm not a member of that program was doing it, but one of my sons, he graduates soon. Chris been in it since 8th grade, and
really?
then William started next year. But it's a good program, and what I'm bringing up, one of their contingencies has been young men's hair can't be more than half an inch.
Okay.
So we lose a lot of kids in the application process because they want their cornrows.
On the dread.
They want their dreads, they want it all. And them brothers are very adamant no.
Okay.
And it's interesting because 2 weeks ago what happened was we had a parent forum, and I was there because I have a kid in the program. And one of the fathers asked about it. And he was talking about, hey man, my son a good kid, this, that, and that. Why should he have to, mat his hair down before he come here and everything? And those guys that run the program, I mean, they not even like trying to hear shit. They just like, nah, well, this is it. And I understand that part of it. This is the rules. Been the rules for about 15, 20 years. Y'all apply. You knew that. But the thing of it is just the world is changing. Our president, Rafiq Ahmad, and Rafiq mentioned, he said, you do have something called a Crown Act. We can't discriminate off how people's hairs are and stuff like that. And I don't know if that's applicable to it, because again, it's not. They're not even because they aren't just stuck on hair. They're saying you got to be groomed, you got to be shaven, and all that stuff. We get the kids like several things they have to do before they come in and stuff like that. And but the conversation was the world is changing. But what had me thinking was, and again, we're talking about the whole subject of you can't judge me by how I look, especially when we're talking about young black men. What I just remember being in corporate America, and again, that's why I want people to call in. Remember to call in number 678-740-9894. That is kind of true as far as you got this glass ceiling on how you look.
Right.
I remember, just talking to some brothers before. Now you can say, okay, this guy's been working in corporate America. He's a supervisor. He's a manager. He got dreads. I've never seen nobody at executive level outside of a black-owned company with dreads.
Okay.
And I ain't never seen no with braids or anything. So in damn near at the executive level, I'm scratching to see anyone that had damn facial hair.
I've seen people at executive level. Well, let's put it this way. Previously, when I first got into the corporate world, as I got out of college, I didn't see people with, it was all clean shaven. And I was even that way. I was clean shaven. I started losing my hair early, so I started shaving bald. I was clean shaven for a long time because I was always in office and around the management, upper management, and stuff like that. But as time progressed, like as time's getting, closer, like even as far as dressing, like we had to wear a tie or slacks, and now it's getting to a point now where I go in the office and they got on, like, they had a thing where you couldn't wear white bottom shoes. The shoes could be brown, but the bottom of it couldn't be white. The sole couldn't be white. It had to be a darker color.
Yeah.
Now I see people walking in with white soles, and today I saw a guy with a suit on with some brown shoes and had the white soles on, and he was in there skipping. Let me tell it. So, and now you like me, I got a beard now. So I would. Previously, maybe back in the early 90s, early 2000s, I wouldn't be caught dead with the beard because I didn't want to go in office and present myself like that.
Gotcha.
But now I see upper management,
Well, that's what you just said now. And that's the key thing I just said. I ain't seen upper management, supervisor, executive, VP, president, CEO, self. I ain't seen them.
I have.
My
previous company that I worked for, the president, CEO, they had facial hair. I mean, they even wore shorts in the office.
No, take the beard out. Dreads. We talking about dreads.
They had long hair.
They had long hair, black.
They were white. We talking about executive level, or we talking about all races. So
well, let me say.
For my executive level, white.
Let me say this. And I don't want to be ignorant of what I'm saying, but I'm just gonna be honest. If we at they stuff, they can do what the hell they want to do.
Okay.
Because we know, even as a black man, let's keep it real. A white guy can a white guy can look like he just came out of a Skid Row. He just got to wash his hair, cut it, and shave, and he can put a suit on. He looks like he's been there 4 or 5 years.
I get what you're saying, but we also have to realize that at most of these corporations, I mean, if we're going to go by upper management and how they dress and look, we have to go by the upper management of what we have. And most of us, work for upper management, CEOs and stuff, in white companies. So we have to realize that. So regardless to he could get out the shower and comb his hair back and look clean shaven, I guess the problem is that he still has long hair. If I got to cut mine to a certain length, he should have to cut his to a certain length.
I get it. I know you say you seen it. I mean, 15 years been downtown, I ain't never seen it.
I've seen it.
In the whole point, I ain't seen not one brother with dreads, braids. Now, I ain't never seen that on no executive level.
Okay.
Now, we might go to might have like a black empowerment conference or something like that. It's a black-owned company. That's one thing. But we start, just say Fortune 500, no way in the hell. No way in the hell. I mean, clean cut, not necessarily even no facial hair. Facial hair might be a little different, but just the dreads and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of it is based off of, we're going to just keep it real. Customers not necessarily comfortable with that. We know times are changing, things are changing, and stuff like that.
I guess we gotta say, well, how many black men are the head of Fortune 500 companies? How many do we have? Like, how many do we have to set that example?
Well, not necessarily the owner. We talking about what the thing. That's the whole point of it is. You'll be surprised when you start thinking about, when you start, you can do a Google search right now, CEOs. We just talking about executive level. Okay. Say VP, CFOs. We can go into that sector, because we start talking about just like, okay, he's shift supervisor, just in management. It ain't that many. I mean, you'll see it then, but the glass ceiling is there. The whole thing of it, you're not gonna get them opportunities if you don't necessarily conform from a parent standpoint. And again, I would challenge anybody. Call. I know everybody got their thinking caps on. You have a lot of brothers that actually, from a capacity standpoint, can probably handle it. But I know from that point, you don't hit that ceiling. If you want to do that, you won't want to do it. And again, I deal a lot with a lot of brothers that are at the executive level, and I don't necessarily know if it's a conforming thing. Most of the time, you kind of like get to a certain point in your career, like he's like, okay, well, let me just change this look, adjust this. Things change, but when we start looking at it from an individuality standpoint, we have more kids, especially what I see with young black men. What I've seen, they have this attachment with their hair. I'm not knocking it, but my whole thing of it is, let's be realistic with certain expectations. Because when you say, okay, I got these tattoos, I got these dreads, this is me. Okay, and then you should be able to look at me and just judge me. The flip side of that is, that's fair, depending on what you're trying to do. Now, we can sit here and say, well, now people not supposed to. It should give you a chance. But is that always going to be the case?
Well, I guess we go back to what you said earlier. And Slick said, let me go. Slick said it really depends on the job, but now you can't really discriminate against someone because of their hair. Times have changed. I guess that's going back to the Crown Act that we talked about earlier, that Slick is mentioning. But when you come to these companies, you know that they're going to have rules. I'm trying to get both sides of the coin here. And one of the agreements when you take the job is you're going to conform to their rules. You're going to conform to how they present their company and their brand to the public. So in that aspect, if you're getting a salary that you consider yourself to be decent because you took the job, you have to conform to how they want to present their company. It's their company. It's not yours. So on that aspect, you do have to, cut your hair how they would want it. I remember when I worked at a law firm, they used to send out every year dress code. Dress code, what you could wear, what you couldn't wear. Because at some point it got lackadaisical. It got lax. They were coming in there with flip flops on and the back of their heels out, and you're not supposed to be like that in office.
Send that reminder out.
Right, they had to put out, hey, we ain't said nothing about this in a couple of years. You can't wear this stuff. So,
gotcha.
Even in my current job, which I won't mention, I go to the office and I dress. Collar shirt, slacks, dress shoes, all that. And they be in, most of those people be in there in blue jeans and let me tell a t-shirt. Like they just rolled out of bed. And I feel overdressed, but that's how I've always been in the corporate world. You get what I'm saying? So I try to make sure that I'm presentable, because for me, my thing is you never know who's going to walk into the office. So I want to be presentable because you don't know who's going to walk in. It could be, the main owner of the company could walk in, see you dress nicely, shaved, clean cut, looking nice, smelling decent, and you stand out, whereas everybody else got on blue jeans and t-shirts, and sneakers and gym shoes walking around. You the one who stands out because you are looking decent.
Well, let me ask you a question, Lab. Young blood, getting started and everything, going into the corporate world, but they got, they natural hair thing going on. What would be your advice to them? Would you say, hey man, do you, or hey man, I would kind of adjust?
Well, if they're going into a corporate world, first thing they should do is research the company.
Just say research the company, because, and I'm just gonna tell you this. Well, I want to cut you off. Finish you about to say.
I would say that they should research the company and see how it's presented. A lot of times you shouldn't take jobs if you don't know.
We're talking about young blood.
Just out of college.
Young blood, yeah, there you
been
go.
in college the whole time with his hair like this.
Oh, we can get the call. It's changing lives.
Hello?
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 Hey, this changing lives.
Hey, wow.
Okay. Call back. The call got dropped. Call back. This Youngblood.
Uh-huh.
Youngblood. You know, this ain't lab. Been working 2 or 3 years in the industry. Experience. Got, you know, been around and seen this, that, and that. This Youngblood.
Okay. I would say
He like his hair.
He
You not a young boy. You not a young boy walk around twisting their finger.
He gonna have to conform to that. He gonna have to shave. He gonna have to cut his hair.
You tell him to cut his hair.
I would tell him because my thing is, but it's like two sides of this thing. It's like two. I would tell him to cut his hair because you're going into the corporate world and you want to get this job to maintain your lifestyle, your living, your eat, drink, sleep, all that. So you're gonna have to conform anyway. So I would tell him to go ahead, cut his hair, go in the corporate world, see how it is, see how it's presented, and because it's always better to go in there, look it decent, and then maybe change your look as you progress within the company. But you won't get the job altogether if they feel that your hair is not, if your presentation is not good. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's
if
good
you're presenting yourself in the improper way to them. So grooming yourself and looking nice in the aspect of keeping the job or getting the job is better than not getting the job.
Yeah, I think that's a good advice. It's changing lives.
What's good, fam? I just tried to call. I want to chime in on your topic tonight.
Okay, cool. What's going on?
Hey, nothing much. This your little cousin Damien, man. I can agree. Nothing much. I really can agree on this with the hair situation thing which y'all talking about. Like, although I don't think it's right for people to be judged on how they look, it's not even so much of the CEOs and the bosses. It's what the consumer feels comfortable with coming in, and if you shopping for or whatever your service is, they do it. I feel like they do it more so for the consumer, more so for themselves as the CEO or the boss or whatever, because that's how they make money, is they consumer. Now, if they felt like they consumer really didn't care, or let's say they consumer wouldn't be scared to walk into somewhere with 5 black men with dreads or something working there and wouldn't feel no type of way or whatever, I feel like then the CEOs would allow that. But since, people with, I guess, young men with dreads and things of that nature have got such a bad look out in the world, the CEOs don't want to bring it into their office because of that.
Gotcha. Well, Damon, let me ask you a question. Let me just give, this is my cousin Damon. Damon's an actor, and Damon's same age as my older son. Damon, what are you, 28, 29 years old?
28.
28. Damon's been working in the music industry also. Let me ask you a question. When you start peeping this out and, to base your opinion, was it OJT when you just got on the job training, where you kind of went a couple places, somebody said something to you, or did somebody pull you aside, give you some game to kind of tell you, hey man, this is a money thing, this is why these people feel comfortable? How did you come to your opinion with that? Was you seeing it, or somebody told you beforehand?
A little bit of both, actually. A little bit of both. Cause like you just said, I'm an actor, so I get a lot of auditions that say clean shaved or low cut, no tats, clean shaved, no visible tattoos. So through that, I started to see, well, it must be easier to sell somebody like this or to market somebody like this rather than, to have the natural look like we're talking about. So it's kind of both ways, because my pops had told me a long time ago, hey man, keep yourself clean, keep a clean look, keep your clothes clean. Just make sure you always clean and tight, because you never know how other people perceive the way you're looking. Like if I had dreads, even though I have dreads, my personality may be way different from the other guy you met on the corner with dreads. But just because he's on the corner with dreads and he's a black man, you probably gonna perceive me like that.
Do you know of any young man, just say your age, that have missed out on opportunities by thinking the opposite of what you just said?
Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. Yeah.
And when you try to have a conversation with them, like, hey man, listen, this worked out for me, I understand how you feel. What is the response that comes along with that?
Well, now their biggest response is, "Hey man, things changing. It ain't like it used to be. I got plenty partners with dreads working, but when they say working, they're not talking on the level we're talking on. Like I heard you and your partner, y'all say Fortune 500 companies. I don't, like y'all said, I don't really necessarily know no people in high power in Fortune 500 companies with dreads. Like my partners, I guess they be thinking. Well, I'm not even gonna say all of them, but just the few people I had the conversation with. They thinking, you know, just some management job and stuff like that. So their mind ain't really thinking CEO type, you know, things like that.
Yeah, and usually with experience and as you go through life, especially getting over 30, you start thinking expansions and advancements and things like that, depending on what career you're in, and then you start, and that's when that actual glass ceiling probably come into effect where you like, I done did everything I was supposed to. I done put 10, 15 years in the game, and now I can't go no further. And sometimes you get typecast in certain, you know, careers, like he can only do this kind of county, he can only do this kind of law, he can only do that. And it may be because you're working there, or it may be because what we talking about, you got a particular look that they kind of tolerated here, but we can't put you over there because this is where we make the money. And I can't put you over there because you might say the wrong thing, you coming that way in the wrong thing, you might scare the hell out of people and stuff like that, and it's real. And I think far too often, especially with our young black men, we don't have these conversations with them to say, look, I understand you feel this way, I understand the individuality, but we got something called the world. And unless you're that kind of moving shaker where you feel like, okay, I do my own thing, and even then, I'm self-employed, I've been in business 20 years, I got my own business. I still got to make sure that my customers got to see me a certain way because they giving me their money. So if I come in any kind of way, man, they be like, I don't know. He look like he gonna do some damn fraud. So perception is not necessarily the perception always gonna be felt, but perception is real. And you can deny it, like you said, depending, like you said, like if you're just gonna be at a certain level, that's one thing. And like you said, they may not even be thinking about it. And that's fair. But at the end of the day, as you advance in life, okay, man, I've been doing this so many years, let me go on and I'm going to go on and get in. You know, guys already told me I do pretty good. Let me go on and apply for that supervisor position. Or let me do this, do that, and that. And all of a sudden, now all these issues coming up. Well, man, you ain't did this. You ain't never said that on my review. They never said on your review because they were cool where you at. Then you finna get around these people. You finna start talking about all these different kind of, you just say if you're working in a warehouse, you might be talking to different product specialists and different other kind of companies. We need you to look a certain way. It might not even be about you being white, but it might just be a little, you need your more little clean cut. Like you just said, the tats can't be showing, the hair, the grooming and all that stuff got to be in place. It's hard, but it's fair. That's just how it is. And far too often what get mixed with it, you can't make your damn rules in somebody else's game. If this the game you gonna play, you got to go by the rules of the game.
Right.
You can't just, now I want to play a different role in the game. The rules still the damn rules, regardless how you feel.
Right.
You know? And a lot of times people, just, get away from that, man. I appreciate you chiming in on that, Damon. Hey, man, if you want to, man, you can get your social media out and everything out there, all your information out while you're on.
Oh, man, y'all can follow me on Instagram, Rich Rocky, or Facebook, Damian T. Gordon, man. It's nothing special.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Ain't that special, man. He a bad man, though. I'm proud to look good, man. Proud of man. Hey, man, appreciate you calling in, Damon.
Most definitely.
All right, take it easy now.
Yep.
What's going on, everybody? Again, this is Change Lives, hosted by your truly, Deonte Burden. Tonight's show, we're talking about you can't judge me by how I look. And I want to have an open conversation with everybody in regards to that because it is a subject that a lot of people have with each other. And they feel like a lot of times that they've been wrong because people, you can't judge a book by a cover. But I think we all do that.
We all do it.
And until you really, a lot of times, personally affected by it, you don't really get too much thoughts of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Sleep said that there's even a black newscaster who doesn't cut his hair, but he lines it up, like on the news.
A newscaster in Atlanta?
I'm not sure. Is that in Atlanta, Sleep?
I don't pick it. I got my makers.
But like you were saying, why she, we a little Instagram's a little behind, but yeah, like you were saying, we do have to. If you want to keep that job, keep that lifestyle, unfortunately, you're gonna have to conform to how they feel you should look. That's just par for the course.
Well, on the flip side, I think Damon made a great point, man. I'm proud of him just being aware of that. It's not necessarily that they looking at it from the perspective of how they feel.
Mm-hmm.
They know their customers,
Right.
and if this customer is going to be afraid of this guy with spike hair, dread hair, naturally knotty hair.
Mm-hmm.
We can't lose no money with that.
Yeah.
We can't do that. Nobody trying to get. It ain't about the content of your character. I'm gonna give a damn about that. We talking about my money.
Right. And that even goes to aspects of tattoos.
Yeah.
You know, I have tattoos, but I also know, because like I said, I'm older, so I've been in the corporate world a long time. I'm not gonna have my tattoos in a visible area. You get what I'm saying? You can have tattoos. I even seen people who had their whole arms tattooed to a certain point. You get what I'm saying? So the sleeves won't. So you can have sleeves on it. It won't show because some companies, unfortunately, don't want anyone with tattoos. Now you can have them, but they don't want to visit them. Like they don't want them all on your up your neck and all down on your hands and stuff like that. And I can see where that would be a problem. So if you're in a management position, you're meeting potential, or not management, but even if you're in the upper level, vice president, president, you still meet people. You still meet investors, and some investors are just older. They have older aspects of things. They have older ways that they see things. So they may not want to invest in your company if you have dreads or you have tattoos showing and things of that nature. And unfortunately, it's their money. They can do what they want. Just like it's their company. They can give you the dress code if they want. And we have to realize, as black men, our younger black men have to realize that coming up in the corporate world, it still ran like the 1950s, most of them.
Well, what I do want, we talked about it a little bit earlier, Lab, but I don't want people to get exceptions to the rule confused with the norm.
With acceptance.
Yeah, because you might got one brother that got the dreads.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, look at him.
Mm-hmm.
And then, look at him. And they just and they may be so damn dynamic
Mm-hmm.
or maybe so damn lucky they got that.
Right.
But the vast majority don't get that, and they're fully competent to be in the positions because of the optics of what people see. They can't go any further. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. Sometimes we get exceptions and say, okay, now, look at him. Yeah, shit, you ain't him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Real talk. There's some, I mean, we know some people out there that are phenomenal salespeople, phenomenal in what they do, and they're not always going to be able. You can't look at everybody. Well, you ain't that dude. Mm-hmm. That's what a lot of times get like. Well, such and such dude, such and such a dog.
Right.
Such and such making numbers.
Such get on it.
Yeah, exactly. You ain't him. We can put that beside him because he's doing so much for us.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get this. Sexy Redbone 28. I didn't get a job at Chuck E. Cheese in my teenage years due to a tattoo on my lower arm. The location in Marietta. Gonna put folks on Marietta on blast. Cause they ain't give you Chuck E. Cheese and let. I think Chuck E. Cheese kill. I thought shit. You go ahead. Only you should apply for the rat uniform. That's what it is.
But sometimes those companies like that do care because you're in front of children. So
I get it. I get it with that.
Right.
I get it with that. She applying for the wrong position. She should have got the little. You should have applied to be the rat. They worry about the tattoos, but that's the thing about it. Sometimes people want to see that. Just again, I don't necessarily know if it's. We can just go into fair and all this other kind of stuff. It is what it is.
Well, it's definitely not fair because on the opposite side of that, those companies need to think about how many talented people they probably missing out on because of those strict, stringent, old rules. I mean, let's be honest, they're old. They're old rules. I mean, the children, the kids nowadays that are growing up don't conform to that kind of stuff. So, and like we said, they have to because of the company, but how much talent are you losing? How much talent? Like, think about these Fortune 500 tech companies. They lackadaisical on their rules. I mean, you come there in swimsuit, let them tell. As long as you in that office and you code and you making sure that website is working and that money's coming in the way it needs to be coming in, they give you places to sleep. They give you free lunch. So, and they're having successful people. They got very talented people on their staff. So,
it's too. You can look at it both ways.
Like I said, you're not
they
taking,
let things go. I've seen people in tech companies with tattoos on their face.
Yeah, you missing out on diamonds in the rough. I get it. Okay. Let's play devil's advocate. Cause like when my cousin had brought a point up, he said we mentioned Fortune 500 companies. Take Fortune 500 companies out of the mix.
Okay.
Let's say you're working at such and such country club.
Okay.
Well, you know the target audience is predominantly probably somebody older, older white, wealthy, right? You might have some sprinkles of pepper in there, here and there, but for the most part, you know the demographic, right? And you may have certain pubs or different things like that. We're just talking about where you working a job where it requires, manual skill level, minimum skill level, right? At the end of the day, we're looking at what? A particular look they can only have. You can't be a bartender or a waitress in certain restaurants, depending on what the demographic is. Because we go back to, like you said, it ain't fair, but it's still going back to who? And I thought it was great. He understood that at a young age. The customer.
Right.
It don't matter. You can be so solid, but if you make my money feel uncomfortable, you understand?
Right.
See, I can run the tax office on the west side, goals, tattoos, and all that kind of stuff. I can't run no accounting firm in Buckhead like that.
Right.
Because they like, what the hell going on? We just same.
I guess we need to break up the demographic. I think we need to break up the companies because now that you said like a visual person who's in front of the customer, yeah, they need to be groomed because every customer's gonna have a different way if they see the world. But like I was saying, tech companies, we can't put that in that group because most people in tech companies are not in front of the customer. The customers on the website or something like that, those people can be given exceptions. You get what I'm saying? Because they're not going to meet you as an investor necessarily, because the investor's going straight to the CEO. You get what I'm saying? So in those aspects, we have to separate that from companies that actually have people who are in front of customers and companies that don't have that, who don't necessarily have that.
Fair enough point.
Okay.
Fair enough point. Tell you a conversation I had with a good friend of mine. My man Scott was talking to me. Scott, probably about 55, 56. Was sitting at a cigar spot by the money go. Shared a story with me from the early 90s. Fresh out of college, he was working at Xerox, corporate. And he said he was Q, so he wore his bow tie. And he said everybody was in there. He said a black supervisor. Everybody in there had a regular tie and everything. But he coming out because he fresh out of college. Q had his bow tie.
Okay.
Said the brother called him in the office. And he said, "Man, don't you ever wear that MF bow tie anymore?" And everything. And he's trying to feel like, "What's going on? I'm clean and everything like that." And he said, "Listen, people are paying more attention that you are bow tie than who you are, and looking at that." Oh, that's bow tie. You want them to actually, again, when wrong, we do what the Romans do.
Right.
To your point, at the end of the day, we start thinking that it's just, OG advice. The guy put him because he said, man, he see that guy now, he'll hug him. Because he was on straight up with him, just saying, like, listen, sometimes you can go in there and just say, like, to your point, if we working in tech and we not dealing with customers, what the hell my appearance go into it?
Right.
But at the end of the day, do you want the focus be more on how you look or whatever? Because we're not, again, here's the deal. We got to go into, the way things are. A lot of times we can sit here and make these arguments, that ain't right, you should do this, that ain't right, you're looking at this, you're looking at that. But it is what it is. And he said people be so focused on bow tie and what he doing and never take him serious as that. PJ, my second son, just started a new drill unit. In the military, you can have profile, because, black men, we get what's called pseudo-barbe or ingrown facials. I had a permanent profile in the military, so I always had like a little shadow beard. P got the same thing, right? So we know pretty much with military guys, it's changed a lot, because I've seen some of these videos. But typically, like, old school military, clean cut, some of them don't have no hair on their face, right? He started a new unit. Now, my son is in damn ROTC scholarship. He's going to school to become a damn officer in the military. And they don't even think about no damn hair on their face.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We're talking about lieutenants, colonels, majors, generals, and all that kind of stuff. He's on that track. So they don't even think about damn facial hair. Right?
Right.
And so me and him sitting there talking, and he's going to the new unit. It's 2 weeks ago. And I said, hey, P-Dog, he's sitting over there. I mean, he looking like he come off power. He got his shit all lined up, waves popping.
Right.
I said, hey, bro, shit, I know you ain't going up like that.
Right.
He said, nah, Dad, you know, I'm going to skin it out.
Uh-huh.
And he knew, because I done had these kind of conversations before.
Uh-huh.
Get in, learn the way of the land. And then as you kind of get yourself adjust, you can make it do it. Once you've become, or at least planted your roots somewhere where they can say, okay, cool, now let me kind of get my way. It is the same thing you start any job.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't come into a new job, you ain't going to last long. Just say, you know, you the new guy, you got your headphones on the radio. You going to kind of go in for a little bit. Let me peep the scene. Do they listen to the radio? Do they do this, that, and that? And you still may not start if you got any damn sense. Because, you know, that whole, when they do it, no, they don't.
Who are they?
They'll lie and say they didn't, but because you don't know anybody.
Right.
But you kind of see the way of the land, give yourself some time, make some friends, and then you may kind of adjust from there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Common sense to teach you that, right? Mm-hmm. And it's the same kind of thing. You can kind of know, okay, cool, these are things I shouldn't do, this, that, and that, kind of with dress, kind of with appearance, this, that, and that. Do I need to have my hair cut every day, every week, or do I need to, I can go a couple weeks because I've seen a couple guys, I'm still going to stay on point, give myself about 6 months, and then I can kind of make adjustments from there, right? Typically, that's kind of how it is, excuse me, you know, regardless in his place. You know, usually, don't care what job you have, usually you kind of peep the scene and kind of see, you just, now if you just want to people, I'm going to go comfortable as hell from the get-go,
Right.
cool. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, that's kind of how it is, just see how things are going. And so we start going into that, no, I don't want to, you know, my halves, my strength. I get it. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to be realistic about that kind of stuff. And the thing that is, even with tattoos, all my kids always say the same thing. Man, I get on tattoos. I don't let my kids get tattoos.
Right.
I've never let none of my sons get tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
My thing that I've said, and I'm not, and let me say, get this prerequisite, I've never said that my way is the right way.
Right.
But what I always said is with my children was, I didn't think you were conscious enough to understand by you making this permanent thing on your body, how way you want to be at later, how that would impact it.
Okay.
So I always told my kids, give yourself 2 years after leaving my house.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you want to get a tattoo, go from there. Because my thought process was, you will be able to see people where you want to be, how they look, and then it make a big deal to you.
Right.
That was my whole
didn't get
thought
tattoos,
process.
So I was in my 40s.
Well,
I've always been along the lines, and this is just me, that companies don't want that. And I'm trying to move forward. I'm not trying to move backwards. Of course, like we said, it's not right, it's not whatever. But I know the lay of the land. I know where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm trying to do. And I know how I got to get there. And what, forests, woods, and trees and all that stuff I got to go through to get there. So, yeah, I'm going to do what's necessary to get to where I need to be. Just like when people say, and I know it's a whole different subject, that college ain't really necessary. You don't need to go to school. That don't mean you're going to do the job well. No, but it's going to open the door. It's going to kick the door open that maybe slam to your face if you don't have it. So for me, it's more I'm going to do it. No, I don't necessarily like it, but I'm going to do it because I feel like this is a stepping stone somewhere else. I'm not necessarily, younger adults got to realize most of them don't stay at jobs 30 years no way. They always switch up, but if you can get experience here to go here, to learn from there to go here,
yeah.
As you get further along, the rules may change. The exceptions may be given because you have proven yourself at these 3 other jobs.
Yeah, you got to wait to actually make adjustments with that, man.
And your resume is so stellar that they're going to give you those exceptions because they want you on their team. You get what I'm saying? So
absolutely,
those things are things that younger adults need to think about. That our kids who coming up in the corporate world may need to think about. Don't think of it as I'm doing it for them. You're doing it for you. You're doing it to advance you. I always thought of jobs as, I know I'm not going to be here forever. Now, if I'm here forever, cool. But if I don't move up, I'm not going to stay.
Yeah.
But my thing has always been, I'm going to learn from this job and take it over here. And I'm going to learn from that job and take it here. This is for my benefit, not for theirs.
Gotcha, but check this out. But before going further, again, this is Change Your Life, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. Tonight's show we're discussing, you can't judge me by how I look. Right now we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Twitter. The main hub is the Change Your Lives, hosted by yours truly, hosted by Deonte Burden YouTube channel, where we have over 500 videos. If you came in later into the show, always you can go to the Changing Lives website, the YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel, and see the whole video in its entirety, and also take advantage of the over 500 videos on the YouTube channel giving out all kind of great information. Now with that said, Lab, check this out. Now, when we talking about this, and this is why I kind of say, people are like, well, look, man, it doesn't affect it, we're doing it. And I understand your whole point with like, hey, sometimes you're around people, but, a lot of times we are. Mm-hmm. And you have a guy that's very competent. I know this happens, where you got people that work for Mr. Sparky, probably the best electrician. Mm-hmm. He tatted from the neck down. Mm-hmm. He can't come in my house.
Right. He might be scoping.
Exactly. You that roto-rooter. You that plumber.
Right.
Super skilled. Know everything inside out.
Right.
Dreads. You got your cornrows. Now he can't come in. He can't come in here. He can't come in here. It happens all the time. And at the end of the day, it happens.
I know it happens.
It happens all the time.
I know it happens. I know it happens.
You personally putting limits on yourself.
Yeah.
And you can say, well, I'll work for myself and do it. I only said, no, if that's going to make it any better.
Right.
I don't know if it's going to make it any better. And my whole advice, this is Deonte Burden speaking, why put those kind of restrictions on yourself? Yeah.
But let me ask you a question, going back to the 100. On that aspect, though, and I'm not a member of the 100, on that aspect, though, why wouldn't they think about the children that we're trying to mentor children to be better? So why not let them in the program and mentor them better as they, because you may be losing children who need that 100 men hug or arm around it. He may not know any better. This is coming from somebody who didn't know his father, somebody who was born and raised on the west side of Chicago in the ghetto, struggled, poor as could be. And if I had something that I didn't know because I wasn't taught, or I'm just going by what I see in the street because my mom is at work all the time, so I'm practically raising myself, and I'm coming to you as a young adult to the 100 to try to get that help, to get that, because I see a future in myself, but I just don't know how to get there. And then you turn me away because I don't know about my hair. I may be saying, no, I don't want to cut my hair, but you're not letting me in just because of that. So now I've been turned around from. You got to think about the people you're losing with that one little rule, because all minds can be changed eventually if they feel and see the love that you're going to give them once they're in the program. That's my aspect of it.
That's a fair question. Well, we do have a program called the Mirror 100, where we take kids that are kind of probably not as polished, and we do the same thing that they have the hair and all that kind of stuff, and we do it. The thing over there with the rites of passage, we put them on a certain track.
Okay.
So it's, with the rites of passage, kids in the rites of passage, you may need to only do 5 or 6 things to get them to a certain point. In the mirror, you might need to do 10. So different perspective, and even you mix and match it, because that's the other thing, Lab. At the end of the day, just say you might have group A, B, C, and D. You can't put kids in D or people in D in A because it's gonna slow down A.
I get what you're saying, but I guess my thing would have been, if that's the case, I ain't in the 100. I'm thinking like, well, why not just send them all through the mirror program first and let them advance to the rites of passage?
Well, and you speaking from a perspective of, let's try this, and it ain't never been tried before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like I know what you're saying as far as you're gonna hold one back, but if we put all I'm thinking about is our children.
No.
And losing them.
Fair enough question. Okay. But what I'm saying is that way because the other way has been proven.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because that stuff been tried.
Okay.
Like me and you talk all the time. People say, well, we can do this and put this in the community. And I'm one of the firm believers. Like, I done did financial empowerment. Most black folks ain't gonna read. And if you ain't giving them nothing as far as quick thing, we can have a financial empowerment session. I tell you all the time, we have plenty of things with Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America. If you ain't giving folks money right in and out, folks don't show up. Running promo ads on the radio, so if it ain't fixing. So it's not from a perspective of why not do it this way. This is all experimentation and experience. So it's not like stuff ain't been tried with doing it. So hey, why not do it this way? It's been done that way. That way don't work. It's been tried before. So at the end of the day, you can spend time trying to, hey, why just take them all through that. All of them ain't meant for that. You got some if we can get you through this process and it's more efficient this way, we'll take you through this process and it's going to be efficient for you. It's not that you ostracizing or keeping other kids out, but it's just like you got AP, you got honors, you got average, and you got remediation.
Okay.
Why would you put a kid in remediation in an AP class?
Well, I guess my thing, I get what you're saying, but I guess my thing is, you don't know their remediation, honors, or whatever until you assess them.
Well, they all assess.
You got to come in and assess them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You assume we don't. The assessment there. You gotta think about it. You gotta think about it, Lab. At the end of the day, if the issue is to help kids, you already gonna make the assessment. But at the end, you can't look at the kid and say, "Oh, now he in this." You sit there and talk to him, this, that, and then evaluate.
Okay.
If this guy got potential, he can do that. That's fine. If not, now let's take him here. You ain't turn nobody away. But at the end of the day, it's based off experience. Outside looking in, you might say, "Well, look, man, let's do them all the same way." Once you get to dealing with kids, you say, "No, it ain't gonna be the same way." It ain't gonna be. And the key thing, the major difference, is parental support. When you volunteering, and I'm just being honest with you, and even what we doing now, just giving out free information for people. When you volunteering, you sitting there giving your time and stuff like that. You still gotta have people that's gonna buy in. If you got a kid that got support to buy in, you can handle it. I can't. If I gotta spend 2 extra hours with this kid, we can't do that if we got these other kids to help with that. It's not by face reality. So we can put them here and then do because they don't have the support. You're not getting rid of them. You just can't handle them the same way. I mean, in a perfect world, like, yeah, once you do it, no, try it. I always say, if I never blow nobody's ideas off, I say, try it. Try it. You know what I'm saying? Once you get experience in dealing with, you like, nah, that ain't gonna work. Well, no, try it. Try it. I always welcome folks. If you have anything that you feel theoretically that will work, try it. Even what we talking about today. Well, I don't know, no, you can't do this. Try it. Try it. And at the end of the day, we can spend more time just trying to do experiments. What's proven is proven.
Right.
You do you have disruptors where they go across the grain, do something like that? Yeah. But that's what I just said a little while ago. Don't get exceptions to the rule confused with the norm. Some kids just, they do.
Right.
That do. Some sisters just, she tough. She can do that. But that ain't the norm. That's her. Okay. That's him. You ain't him. None of y'all are him.
Right.
However you want to go about it, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some kids can just talk and it's magical. They can do stuff and they walk in the room. People, you see, I mean, just adults. Man, that brother walk in the room, everybody just a born leader.
Right.
Right?
Right.
That sister come in the room, everybody sitting on the edge of their seat listening to her. Then you got that one guy walking in supervisor, yabba 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 do. Man, what the fuck is he talking about?
Right.
Who the hell hired this mother? They hiring anybody, right?
Right.
And you know that. But they the supervisor. And now all kind of chaos going in. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say a lot of times, out of experience, people have to do it. But a lot of times people have their own idea of how they think things should do. We should do it this way. You kids, we shouldn't try to change the kids. We should do that. Try it. That's why I always say try it. Well, people didn't give you a chance, but at the end of the day, look, you trying to do it your way.
Right.
You doing it your way ain't working. So you got two choices. Continue doing it your way and be stagnant, or make your adjustments. You can say, well, I got to keep it real. I got to stay this way, this, that, and that. If I want to be tatted, that's cool. But if you keep walking into the same damn brick wall, at some point, you got to see it work. I told you, man, I got a family member. Well, you do it, that's what I was told. Well, you do it your way and it work for you, and I do it my way. But your way don't work.
Right.
And you damn calling me.
You asking me for help.
You asking me.
Right.
You want to do it your way. Your way don't work. I don't do things because I feel like a lot of times it's my favorite way, but it's the way.
Right. It's proven.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
There you go. And if you got something different, try it. And here's the deal, man. You want to be rich, you want to be successful, fix problems. Fix problems. So if you can fix problems for people or the world as a whole, you'll be a rich person.
Right.
So if you feel like just your idea in your head and your opinion Everybody got one of those.
Right.
But if you can sit here and say, look, here today, I did it. Okay, cool. Oh, you gonna get paid.
Right.
You gonna get paid. But your words and your feelings, man, get the hell up out of here. We ain't got time for that. And if you really believe in what you doing,
Right.
you'll sit there and do that and bring it to people. That's the thing about it. If you want to be a true disruptor, and that's why we got Airbnbs. That's why we got Uber and Lyft and all that kind of stuff. Because those were stupid ideas that somebody went on and tried, and they made a difference, and they made themselves very rich in the process. Right? You see what I'm saying? They didn't have to go with the status quo or listen with whatever.
Right.
But we start talking about it, like you say, okay, you can't judge me, this, that, and that. But keep going your way, see how I go.
Right.
Keep going. See how it is. And far too often we don't want to be brutally honest with people. Hey man, listen, dog. At the end of the day, this is what we're trying to do. You know, I get it. You like your hair.
Right.
I get it. You like your tattoos.
Right.
I get it. They're a part of you. You know, you got this lily on your chest. It symbolizes your transition from adult childhood. I get it. With all this whole damn story, what that will mean or that will mean, I get it.
Still covered up.
Exactly. But what the hell, you know what I'm saying? But what you trying to do, man, listen, it's going to be a young, because let's keep it real. Your skin color going to be a barrier.
That's already, now that
You
is
know?
one stumbling block
You
already.
know? It's going to be a barrier.
Your speech is going to be
You
the
know?
other. If you don't talk, what they say, you got to be very, I forget what they call when they say we talk well. I forget, I'm sorry.
Articulate.
Articulate, yeah.
There you go.
You got to be articulate. You know that, right? So, yeah, you're right. So there are, unfortunately for us, as black men, as black children, women, all of that, there are stipulations that we have to follow in the corporate world. That's just how it goes. And this is comes from somebody who's been in the corporate world a very long time. I've never, been in upper
Lab, the shit ain't got to go deep in corporate world.
Right.
One of OGs, James Stewart, man, he's a past president of our chapter. In the 100, he said something that hit home. We got to be twice as good, and we only got to be half as bad to mess up.
Right.
And that's real.
That's true.
That's be half as bad just to mess up. And you can go back and forth all the time. Well, that ain't fair. They didn't get this, and they letting everybody else. How many times you heard that for? Well, they letting everybody else do this, they be doing this, that, and that. You ain't them. You not them.
Yeah, and they will need. I went on one interview, and I knew I'll just give you an example of my interview. My process of going into corporate world. I went on one interview, and I didn't feel comfortable in the interview in the first place, but I went. I sat down. I was talking to folks, interviewing, and I could tell by the whole tone of the meeting, of the interview, that I wasn't going. Now they had other black folks working there, so I'm not finna say they didn't want no black folks there. But the whole tone of the interview was, you got to be 1,000% better than Frank right there that's walking around, sucking on the balloon.
Yeah.
Because when they looked at my resume, it's like, oh, what are you looking for? Blah blah blah. How you looking? What kind of job you looking to have? What kind of position, salary? But we want to hire, but we look at your resume and you spelled one word wrong. One word.
Well, that's the thing about it.
I said, okay. I said, I might have been rushing a little bit to get the resume out. I did it myself. I said, but was that the only word you spelled that you saw that I spelled wrong? And they was like, yeah, but it's a reflection of the quality of work that you do if you spelled that one word wrong. I said, okay.
Is that unfair for them to say that, though, Lab?
It's not unfair for them to say it, but it makes you realize that, for me, it really don't matter. I mean, like
it's your only shot. That's your first shot to talk.
No, that was not my only shot. Because when I sent you the resume, you looked at the resume and you saw that word was spelled wrong. At that point, you shouldn't have called me in for an interview.
That's your opinion.
No, that's the truth.
That is your opinion.
No, those are facts.
Listen,
because if
Lab,
you wasn't going to hire me because the word was spelled wrong, you shouldn't have interviewed me in the first place.
I understand your perspective. I understand your perspective. But again, they may just want to just talk to you, but they're going to bring that up just to see, okay, how's he going to respond to that? Nah, me real side, because let me say this too.
Because that was their reason for not going further in the interview. So you can't call me now. It'll be different if you say, "Oh, well, that one word spelled wrong." But let's see how he looks. Let's see how he presents himself, and then I present myself perfectly, perfectly shaven, clean cut, everything, pressed, iron
Gotcha.
everything down to the T.
And let's revisit that misspelling here.
And let's revisit that respect, because my thing is,
what's wrong with that though?
don't waste your time. I'm not mine. Don't waste your time.
I might just want to hear what your response is. Like, okay, cool.
But when you heard the response, and I said I might have been rushing, I apologize. I might have just spelled that one word, but that is not the quality of work that I put out. I generally make sure that all words are spelled correctly. I make sure that all words are went through spell checking, Grammarly, or whatever the case may be. And I make sure that before I present anything, I make sure that someone else reads it over before I send it out.
Why did you do it then?
Because for one, I didn't have anybody to look over it.
Now,
For two, I was surprised by the company closing up and laying everyone off, so I knew I needed to get employment quickly.
Let me ask you a question. Now, would you like that response? If
Yes.
You got that?
Yes. You're talking to me now. Who's hired many people.
Now, I got you. I don't necessarily know if I like that. Now, I'm not saying I would have asked you that question.
Right.
But I'm just saying that, and I'm not saying what's right and what's wrong, but I can understand like them asking that. And you like, that's a stupid ass question, which, we can get borderline.
I didn't even think of it like a stupid ass question. I didn't even reflect on the fact that I felt like it was unnecessary for them to even call me in there if they were going to just ask me about that one word. Because to me, you wasted your time. You dang sure wasted my time. But we ain't talking about that because I would have had to went to an interview anyway. But my answer to me, and if I was interviewing you and you gave me the same answer, I would be like, oh, okay. Because generally, we're talking about people. We're not talking about robots. And if anybody goes into a job one day and come back the next day and the job is gone because the company is closing, the first aspect is I need to get a resume out quick because I haven't been looking because I've been working here for 10 years.
I get it, but to that point, Lab, tonight we're talking about you can't judge me.
Right.
And like you saying, like, nah, man, this is what the hell it should be. But Lab, I don't think they wrong with it. I think
that they are. And this is my opinion.
And that is so cool for you to feel that way.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that's what we talk. That's the whole point of this, the conversation, is that having a thought process that what we feel and what they feel, two different things. Mm-hmm. And we sit here and say to ourselves, like, look, man, I should be able to talk how I want to talk, dress how I want to talk, be how I want to be, and stuff like that. As long as I do an effective job, it shouldn't matter. In a perfect world, or not to say perfect world, that may be the case some places. Mm-hmm. So, like, we were talking earlier, when I first went to grad school, one of the biggest things they were talking about was just innovation and what's the other word? Thinking outside the box, free thinking and stuff like that. Right. And you have a lot of design companies. There was a company, Audio, and a lot of those Silicon Valley companies that do like the design. They do a lot of, even with Google, they riding around skateboarding and, riding, roller skates at work.
Right.
Because they want creativity and things like that with doing it. And you may say, okay, cool, it didn't matter, as long as everything done. You may have some exceptions to the rule companies, but most of them ain't like that. And again, so do some people get caught up in the minutia, and miss out on a solid prospect like a lab? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, you want to take those kind of check marks. I see my son, PJ, why don't you call in, man, 678-740-9894, and we got that conversation. PJ, I don't know if he came in and came out, but I just seen him come into the show. But
he didn't want you to ask him to call in.
I don't know if he came in and got the hell out of it.
Right.
But that was one of the things, like, again, I'm not to legislate what's right or wrong, or fair or unfair. But sometimes it is what it is.
Right.
And like I said, we start getting them damn conversations about what's right or wrong. And far too often, our young men are missing out on opportunities, or they limit themselves because they've made short-term decisions, i.e. tattoo, i.e. my twist, i.e. my dress, that have caused long-term ramifications where they're like, man, I done got passed over to bring these folks in and stuff like that, but I'm going to keep it real. And sometimes you got to be realistic with yourself. If I'm trying to do this, to your point, we doing research on the company and doing it, and they got conservative ways, conservative values, conservative optics, and where they do certain things, but I want to be here. When I first got in the Army, me being former military, I was kind of on the fence about going to college, and going back to college, and firefighters. They told me I had a shaved face. I want to have hair on my face. I didn't do it. I got an interview when I first got out of college with an Enterprise rental car. Now they don't care, but at that point, they was like, you have a clean shave, and I'm like, shit, ain't really want
I've
to
been
do
in
it.
the military all this time.
Yeah, exactly.
Something on my face. Right.
Exactly. So I'm saying no because why? I felt like I had options to do that. But if it was a dream job of mine, I probably would have made an adjustment. They're telling me what they want. How the hell can I sit here and go to your table and tell you how you need to have your stuff together because you're missing out on me? They don't give a damn. I am. We have to find out a lot of times that we're not as valuable as we think we are.
Oh, that's all the time. But to my point about that resume, it kind of makes you, and maybe young men are feeling this way. It kind of makes you feel like, dang if I do, dang if I don't.
Possibly.
You get what I'm saying?
World ain't fair.
Right, and the world is not fair. So I guess a lot of the younger kids, and I try to play both sides. I understand what you're saying about the corporate world because I've been in there, and yeah, they have their own rules which they want you to follow.
Take corporate out. Take corporate out. Like I said, we just talking about Roto-Rooter. You out there cutting somebody. Hey, everybody is not cool with a guy cutting their damn grass with dreads. Everybody ain't cool with that, Lamb. We gonna keep it. Let's keep it real, Lamb. Everybody ain't cool with it.
I can't go. You might be right. Everybody might not be cool with it. I can't go on my aspect with it. As long as the grass is cut, I'm good. But you right. I mean,
so we ain't even through with the black part, but we talking about the addition on the black. Why has he got that big old bag in his head? Cause you got you being neat. You got your dreads tucked up. You know what I'm saying? You know you got that mowing yards, but you got, the sleeve going here, there, and there. And we saying like, what the hell that matter? I'm out here cutting the grass. We doing this, all that kind of stuff. Everybody ain't cool with that, right? Well, look, we just got the janitorial contract. We got this government facility and stuff like that. You a solid brother. You can make the floor glisten, make it look like mirrors. But you coming there, you got all these tattoos and stuff. You well spoken, you're articulate, handsome, whatever. But your appearance can be unsettling to some people. You think I'm gonna lose that damn contract sending your ass over there?
right.
And I done bust my tail to get these certifications. And you my best guy. I can't send you over there. You ain't finna make my money up. And now you sitting there like, dang, man, well, look, bro, I couldn't send you over there. The supervisor, the person over there said, man, you make some of the ladies over there uncomfortable.
Right.
You think I'm finna lose my stuff because of that? I'm gonna be honest with you. You might want to go get them took off.
Right.
And far too often, we don't have these conversations with folks because a lot of times it be a disconnect in regards to certain things. When you don't have kids, a lot of times want to hear it, and you got some people that don't want to, afraid of hurting folks' feelings.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you got to be realistic about certain things. You shouldn't, like you said, you shouldn't judge me. You should get to know me. Maybe sort of. It depends.
Right.
And everything, because a lot of times, to your point, and that was fair. Man, you miss out on somebody really solid, but not taking your time to get to know me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And everything. Black Polar Bear, what's going on now? What's happening now? I think a lot of times, the sooner you can get out of that, and I think the best thing is don't give people reason to do stuff. Now it is what it is. You feel like I can roll that way. That's cool. But man up or woman up. Say, okay, if I'm gonna do that, this is what's gonna come with it, and don't get bitter behind it.
I think the best rule is just to err on the side of caution. Sometimes you can't look up the company to see how conservative they are because they don't want to put that aspect of themselves out because that may turn off customers. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So you just err. I've always erred on the side of caution.
But to your point, a lot of times you ain't gonna be able to do that.
Right.
And even if you do that, you really don't learn the culture or see the culture till you get in.
I always say if I'm in an office setting where I'm in an office where I'm gonna be around other people, like I'm gonna give you a good example. When I work in office, and I work in office now, and when I go to the office, I say, like the lady name may be Tina, I say, hey, Miss Tina, and the lady, Miss Shirley, I stopped me one day, she said, why you call me Miss Shirley? I said, because I don't want to be any misconceptions of what I'm saying to you. I'm trying to be. This is my co-worker. I don't want to say Shirley because you may feel that that's disrespectful as an older person. So I just say Miss Shirley is friendly and professional at the same time.
But
and the question was, well, you can just call me Shirley. I said, no. I don't want,
you let her say that.
Right. I let her say it, but I still do it as Miss Shirley or Miss Tina or whatever because it's just more professional for me.
Let me ask you a question. What they say, you speaking as a seasoned vet. Do you think most young people come into situations where they understand, look, let me be here. And as my comfort level and experience level, and people get comfortable with it, now I can still go from, Miss Shirley to, hey, Shirley, how you doing? Do you think most of them going to the gate thinking that way?
No. And to be honest with you, when I got out of college, I didn't go in there thinking that way. And I had been in college. I had got a master's degree. I didn't go in there thinking that way. These are things. Some things you have to learn by experience. Some things you have to learn by. And I'm not saying I experienced somebody getting mad at me for calling them by their first name. No, but I just felt in the culture of the office that was better.
Yeah.
And everybody has their own feelings about things, but I felt, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, that was better. A better presentation of talking to someone.
Yeah, and again, I'll never be a proponent of individuality, but I always say at the end of the day, you got to have realistic expectations in regards to, like, if anybody gonna just say, "You can't judge me," you can't get these, you got to get to know me and stuff like that. It sounds good,
right?
It sounds good.
Always sounds good.
But at the end of the day, we got to be realistic, and I just don't think a lot of times we're doing as OGs, parents, mentors, however you want to call it, preparing our young folks for that. Preparing them. And like I said, that don't mean we got to tell them all to cut their hair and shave their face, but we do got to just do a better job. Like, look, in my era, what was it? Everybody had these goals in their mouth. You trying to get these jobs, you got these goals in your mouth, you're a great person, great kid, you'll do a great job.
Until you smile.
But that barrier, now they focusing on your mouth. I ain't did nothing wrong. I'm a good person.
Right.
I said, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. But they focusing on that. Is it fair? Or it is what it is?
Right.
And that's one of the things we got to sit here and say to ourselves, like, again, like I said, we ain't got to go. We just talk about damn corporate. We ain't got to go that damn far.
Right.
It's like, look, man, we just going to keep him on the fry station. I can't put him on the register over here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, again, that just may make people like, like, hey, that's 842. Give me a can I have your card? Shit, I don't know. Get this mother my card. He might do some scamming stuff. Ain't even ran across your damn mind. You just working.
Right. You just doing what you
exactly
would do.
And you just at damn Chick-fil-A at Perimeter Mall. You ain't did nothing wrong. You just asked for you to register. You asked for that lady card. But you got the grill. You got the tattoos all over and everything like that. Shit.
She may not want to give you that.
What
card.
you need my card for? So I can ring your chicken up.
Right.
That's okay. Let me write you a check.
Right.
Let me just get cash. Yeah, let me go get cash. What ATM, man? I come back.
Right.
So, again, it ain't fair. It is what it is.
Okay.
And listen, guys, anybody got to call in? We done ran. It's been a good conversation. We've been rolling for a minute, guys. You got in? You want to add to the conversation? The call in number is 678-740-1894. Again, the call in number is 678-740. No, damn, I said 1894. 9894. Again, 678-740-9894. 678-740-9894.
Hey, we got a couple of YouTube comments. I'm sorry.
Okay.
They just popped in just now. I've been looking at YouTube the whole time, but they just popped in. Mikhail Pitchford said, salute, coach. You know Mikhail? Okay. He said that.
What's up, coach?
You also have to be careful because people will start screaming discrimination. I won't blame the culture It starts with upbringing, respect, and common sense. So,
3 things today, man. Most time ain't gonna be there.
right.
I appreciate you tuning in, coach. But that's the thing about it. Even when we start just say, see, discrimination is tough to prove because they can, even when they flat out discriminate against you, they can just say like, we hired this person. Because a lot of times, Lab, to be honest with you, when you get people applying for jobs, damn near everybody's the same. It's once you get into the interview if you really sell them on yourself or not.
Right.
A lot of times, probably, 90% of the people you're interviewing, pretty much the same person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So many years of this, so many years of that. Got this credential, got that credential. It's just really on, once the one-on-one get there, how much game you can put on them and sell yourself to how comfortable they are, right? So the thing of it is, when we start talking about us being as black men, I want to give them less shit to focus on. I'm already coming at black. I'm already coming in that short. So I'm sitting there like, okay, you don't want to give them strike 3.
Right.
But real talk, that's the thing about it. So again, they can just say, well, look, man, well, this other guy got the same thing. But that's the thing, with interviewing, You see what I'm saying? Everybody pretty much the same.
Right.
It's just who we sat down. Okay, man, he told a good joke. Oh yeah, that guy was in the army.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Oh man, yeah, he from the west side. Man, yeah, I got him.
Now you right. Some aspects like if you in the military or something like that, just certain things that may gravitate towards the person who's interviewing or the person who may be over you.
Who sold itself the best?
Right, and oh, you was in the Marines. I was in the Marines too. I was at, and then you get to talking. He don't even look at your resume.
Exactly.
You start tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go.
Because you connected on something, an aspect of something.
That's how it happens most of the time.
Right.
That's how it happens most of the time. But you damn sure don't want to give him a damn. Well, look, man, you got that big old Black Lives Matter on your damn palm.
Right.
You know, I done seen that. Now I'm all queasy because now I got to worry about, is your appearance going to throw off the culture? Mm-hmm. We all cool. We strictly working and everything. In here, I don't want to come and have no damn militant or whatever. You didn't even think about that shit. You know, you just want to go in there and work for your family. Not being able to add to it. And we say, and this is what I have learned, and I still struggle with in adulthood. What my perception of common sense is. I think common sense is common sense. But what you or somebody else might think is common sense, they're just like, no, I didn't know that. How the hell you expect me to know that? And that's something I struggle with to this day, because I think a lot of times people should just think, well, this is obvious. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people just, I don't know if they damn inbred or whatever the hell, just something about.
Right.
There's no pension on common sense.
That's true.
Just people just thinking like, damn, bro, you ain't think the damn bathe before you come in here? You didn't think you had to shave? You didn't think you had to comb your damn hair? And because,
iron your clothes.
Absolutely.
Right. Because ironing ain't no thing.
I'm dead ass serious about that, lad.
Right.
So we sit here saying, damn, common sense, think you ought to damn iron clothes if you come to an interview.
Yeah,
says who?
That whole ironing clothes thing is, woo.
No, says who?
Right.
So we got to be very, very, careful. I'm telling you, lad, that's something I damn struggle with to this damn day, bro. Just with my expectation, what I think people should be damn thinking. And everybody don't think like me. And that's something I've really, 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 especially the past damn 5 years, like, hey man, look man, I don't expect you to be an expert, but damn. Bro, shit. No hell. And that's why I really want to have these kind of conversations. So we had nobody else call in. I appreciate everybody that's tuned in this evening. So it's been a great conversation. Appreciate Damon for calling in. Guys, we want to have more people call in. And if you're not comfortable calling in, at least, call, just, get a comments and stuff like that. Because these conversations need to be had, especially with our youth. Because we have a lot of young black men that are coming down the pipe. And they need guidance. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm not trying to just push my way as the best way. Mm-hmm. But my way is a way. Right. And I can say, well, look, I've had success on this endeavor. And you might pitch something different. You say, well, now maybe try this, that, and that. And giving them actual blueprints or experiences, as opposed to just words. Man, do what you want to do. Don't let them change. But that shit might not work. Right. But if you sit there and say, well, look, why don't you do it this way and learn it, and then learn this, then go and then you can change it. That's actual proven advice. And I think we don't give our young men enough of that. Even our young ladies, enough of that. We just say, hey, what do you want to do? I cringe on that shit when I hear people ask kids, well, do what you want to do or follow what you want to do. Who the hell do what they want to do? Right. Everybody doing what the hell they have to do. Mm-hmm. And you just saying that because it's easy for you to say. But if that kid comes back to you, well, look, I ain't want to go to school for that. I want to do it this way. And you can't give them a blueprint to follow to still get them onto the destination of success. Mm-hmm. You just telling them because you tired of doing some shit you don't want to do, but you give them this blind ass advice and telling this kid, well, do what you want to do. If you don't want to do, don't do it. Mm-hmm. I've heard folks say that stuff to my kids, and I'm quick to be like, man, why the hell you telling my kid that? I'm telling my kids, for you to do what you want to do, you got to do stuff you don't want to do to get you to that point. Mm-hmm. And if you got a different blueprint or path to do that, all ears. Mm-hmm. All ears. But just don't
blurt it out.
Shoot it from the hip. What we got here?
Slick said, this is an era of young grandmas. Do you think old time values are being taught?
Some places, some to do. It just depends who giving it out.
Right.
For the most part, no. But I think is to that point, it's all about what people been exposed to. You know what I'm saying? It's all about what people been exposed to. And at the end of the day, I'm not a big proponent of just saying, my way is the right way. My way is the way that's worked for me.
Okay.
Now, and I'm very adamant with my children. Like, hey, this what Pop doing now again. Any other way you want to go, I get it. You want to try it, but I don't know that way. And I can't support that way because I can't afford to do it. This going to work with my schedule, my money, and the way I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to do it another way, I'm not going to call you stupid, but I can't fix it if it don't work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Pumpkin Shell said, fantastic show. Keep up the good work.
I appreciate it, Pumpkin. I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. But that's one thing I think a lot of times people don't want to have these tough conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Because what comes with tough conversations is now your kid may ask you a question. Well, Daddy, why you ain't do this? Well, Daddy, why you ain't do that? And they got to be somewhat transparent. And we don't want to look at like failures a lot of times to our children.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just from the school of thought. The reason why I am with this one way with my kids is because I got to fix your failures. Because folks say, well, look, let your kids sometimes fall on their face, so let the kids do that. Well, you going to pay for it?
You going to pay for that
You
failure?
going to pay to fix that failure?
Right.
That's some dumbass advice. Folks ain't going to help you out.
Right.
Because when our kids do stuff wrong, 9 times out of 10, we got
back on us.
It fall back on us.
Right.
I ain't got time to fix that shit. No,
Right.
bro, you need to do it this way. Because if it don't work, you going to call me because they ain't got the time, the money, or the interest to fix your mistake.
Right.
It going to come back on me.
Yeah.
So, son, you need to do what the hell I told you. And I just think a lot of times parents just don't want to have them uncomfortable conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Just say, look, man, I did mess up with that. I tried to do this with that. I always share that story with my children about when I, my undergrad in finance, and I went to Cheesecake Factory. I think I told that to you.
Mm-hmm.
When I went on that interview, and they was like, Deonte, give us the story, how would you get somebody to, if somebody want to invest, and how would you do it? And I was like, yeah. I'm in it.
Right.
White guys ask me.
Right.
And you know me, I love to talk.
Right.
And I got to talk about 30 seconds. I forgot my whole damn train of thought.
Here we go.
They looking at it like, who is this dumb
Right.
N-word and all that? I just forgot everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt so bad. But what I learned from the experience was I never get in a conversation where, I ever get stuck and lose my train of thought.
Mm.
But I had to share that with my children. Like, look, man, kind of just be a certain way when you're knowing certain things and stuff. And, look a certain way, do things a certain way, move a certain way. Because that's why I said me and PJ had that conversation like, P, you knew that.
Mm-hmm.
You knew. Son, don't go in that way. Well, I see some people doing that. They ain't you, son.
Especially when you knew.
Yeah. And that
Especially
way,
when you knew.
So
You
here's-
haven't established yourself yet.
I'm going to say this. To his credit, he listened to me. He listened to me. I will give PJ that credit.
Mm-hmm.
He did listen to me. You know what, everything with that. Gonna shave all the hair off your face. See how the vibe is. Go from there. You know what I'm saying? Don't go in there with all this kind of stuff, and now they focused on your damn beard. Give yourself a month or two.
Right.
Check out the vibe. Check out everything. Then you go
And
from
you
there.
still may not want to do it.
Yeah, and me and him had a grown man conversation Monday night. He said, yeah, I met these folks. They were saying, watch out for that person. He said, well, I'm just going to kind of, get a couple more months to kind of peep out the scene.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the kind of thing of it is. Don't just go in a certain way. Because when you start that whole narrative, you can't judge me. You can't tell me what to do. I get it. I know you feel that way. But at the end of the day, you can't be asking for opportunities or to give certain things to you off how in his day stuff.
Right.
You want to play my game. My game entails what? My rules. You can't change my damn rules.
Right.
That ain't how life goes. That go for me and you. We grown ass men.
Yeah.
And we want to deal in certain settings. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I got to be honest with myself. Like, everybody ain't cool with. Like I said, I'm dealing with the business. I'm getting for money information, bank information, Social Security and all. Everybody ain't gonna be cool. They may want, this got to be a certain way. Now, if you want a hookup guy, okay, it don't matter. I can go in there with jogging suit. But if I'm dealing with folks that, okay, look, we want to invest and do these certain things, I got to look a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Fair, unfair, it is what it is.
Right.
Spend less time focusing on I'm gonna do it my way. You ain't putting money in your pocket.
Mm.
You spending money out your pocket. You feel me?
Right.
That's where your shit going. I gotta focus on what we can sit here and make all the damn videos we want, and I had to learn that.
Right.
At the end of the day, what do the people want? What do people look at my channel?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They gonna want what they want.
That's
you might be
deal.
talking about this, but they gonna call you and want to talk about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Six say that this is a time of parents being friends and not really giving any parental guidance.
See how that shit work out for you.
Right.
How that work out for
People
you?
being friends with their children and not being parents.
Just try to turn to your damn roommate.
Right.
I mean, hey, you gotta get the hell out of my house. We had it's funny we saying this, Lab. I put the video on TikTok, and it's been on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. I asked the question. The question was asked, would you put your kids out? That was the question.
Mm-hmm.
But the actual, I'm sorry, list on the thumbnail. But the question was, your kid go to school, they give you a call, and most parents, when your kids go to school, the first time they leave, you're gonna get that call. I want to come back home. I'm scared, and it's not because things ain't going. Somebody mistreating them. It's just they homesick. And you gotta let them kind of go through some stuff.
Right.
And so many people like, I let them come back, but you let them come back, they ain't never had a chance to learn how to go through something.
Adjust.
Just go through it and whatever, this, that, and that. Now somebody mistreating your child, that's different. But a lot of times, and I seen that a lot with my children, when I went off to college, even T went to play football, Cole wasn't playing or this, that, and that. Well, come on home, son. I don't want him. I'm enjoying, like hell. We done did some shit in your room. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no. Hell no, you can't come. It was hell getting you out. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Peter when he went to school. Yeah, Dad, I just don't like it here. What he was saying, like, it's just racist. Racism. Shit, bro. Hey.
That's every day.
Hey, man, look here. Hey. You got all this damn clothes with to move to your room. Shit. Might need to learn Dixie.
Right.
Or something. Get the hell out of my... hey, they got to go through something.
Right.
They got to go through something. And that's the thing we tell them about with life and all that kind of stuff. Because at the end of the day, we all had to conform. You ain't selling out. You know certain things, but at the end of the day, you got to understand that, listen, people perception, how you are, can come on how you look. You know what I'm saying? When you sitting there, hey, you're a young player. You sitting there like, you're a great guy. Is that woman going to be so quick to want to talk to you if you filthy, you funky, and all that kind of stuff like that?
Right.
You might be the best man possible. And at the end of the day, she might get that diamond in the rough where I seen things in them most women didn't see.
But you gotta get past that first barrier.
I had to get past it. And that shit most time don't happen. Well, women today, they don't want to man, look at man, have you looked at yourself? Have you smelled yourself?
But that goes back to that goes to their perception, what they perceive or what they want in a person. We short guys, we not gonna get past the shortness. If the girl, she thinks her ideal person, regardless, we good, we work hard, we make money. If she thinks she needs a 6'3" guy, we X'd out.
Hey, you ain't getting no. Hey, right. If you want NBA, you ain't looking at pussy.
right. Well, no matter how much money we have, how good we look, how nice we treat them, how respectful we are to them, their perception of us is that we are not the one for them because we're not 6'3".
Can't get around it.
Right, we can't get around it.
Can't get around it, and that's the thing about it. Yeah, you ain't gonna post you up, but I might can get you about the flow.
Mikhail Pitchford say, no, the value system has been flipped. It used to be God, family, career. Now it's money, happiness, and maybe God.
Well, and that's the thing about it. But we got to be open-minded enough that everybody don't believe in God. Everybody don't do this, that, and that. We can have our ways about moving with certain things, but everybody ain't. You don't have a big pension of a lot of stand-up men. You don't have a big pension of, these people keep their words and all that kind of stuff. The whole dynamics have changed. It's not about right or wrong. It's what it is. And sometimes we can hurt ourselves thinking everybody think that. Why I just told you, I struggle with that. Coach told him, hey, son, get your physical, come back out here the next day. He go to the guy next day, he said, we full. And that when I got to get involved.
Right.
Hey, you just tell the boy that.
Right.
Oh, well, we can make some adjustments.
Right.
But what if I wasn't there to say that?
Right.
I just say rough stuff.
Right.
And again, lucky he got a dad he can sit here.
That's involved.
Because I stay away from the stuff. You know what I'm saying? Hey, coach, then you just tell him.
Yeah,
if he come in.
Told him to do
yeah. Now, the flip side of it is, William didn't go. William, because he's young, intimidated, 12. He didn't say, hey, coach, you just told me to do this. That he's scared because his man telling him no. He didn't think he'd open his mouth because he's scared.
Right.
But at the end of the day, sometimes we got to understand, everybody ain't going to sit there and think about it. Everybody going to remember. I said, well, coach might not intend. I said, son, the man worked, he coaching, got a family. He might forget. Yeah, exactly. That's why I told him. I said, but you just can't assume. And a lot of times, like I said, when we start going into, hey, I've done everything I'm supposed to do, you can't look at me a certain way. And like I said, if I come tatted up, dread it up, braid it up, and all this other kind of stuff, Are you creating barriers for yourself that don't need to be there? And are you sitting there saying, you putting these things, you so intelligent, you such a leader, you such a great person, and you sitting there make certain things. Sometimes it ain't about fair.
Right.
Sometimes it's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? But listen, man, we're gonna get ready to wrap this up. I ain't seen nobody else come in, no other questions or comments. I want to tell everybody from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you guys tuned in. We had an awesome show tonight. Make sure you guys, again, go to Change Your Lives. I said Mr. Short Dollar. But go to Change Your Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel. Got a lot of great information now and a lot of great information coming down the pipe. But also, with that said, when you get your financial mix, go to my other YouTube channel, Mr. Short Dollar, where we talk about personal finance, business, entrepreneurship, and investing. That channel got over 600 videos on the channel. 25,000, probably in between all the platforms, we probably knocking at 100,000 people, over 100,000 people. Man, we've been grinding, putting a lot of great information out to you people in the community, and most importantly, it's free. So go to the YouTube channel, Change Your Lives, hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden, and also Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Those are the hubs. So again, regardless of what platform you're looking at, those videos are there, sitting there waiting for you. For whatever you see, you'll be able to go there and take advantage of all the great information. So again, guys, y'all be safe. Love y'all. Quick thing I want to say was yesterday my mom's birthday.
Oh.
Happy belated birthday, Mom. We're going. Nice little bit. Guy, we're going to the casino in Alabama Saturday for Mom's birthday. So we're gonna go there. And man, ain't no damn gambler. You know my tight ass. Shit. I'm sitting at the damn crap table like, fuck that, man. I ain't, man, I'm tight as hell. I ain't got time to spend no damn money, man, getting this shit away.
Go to the casino and lose some money.
We gonna go there, celebrate Mom's birthday that weekend, man. So happy belated birthday, Mom. I love you to death. Mom always support me. Always tune in. Did she come in tonight?
Yeah, I think she came in on YouTube.
On YouTube, okay, yeah, she was asking me about everything.
Yeah.
But my mom always supported me, so again, happy belated birthday, Mama. My mom Audrey passed more, so I love you and everything. We're gonna party this weekend and stuff, so look forward to that. We're doing that. Any other thing, man, I can't think of nothing else, man, but tax season going good. Business is booming. Y'all go to my tax business, Majestic Business Services. As always, guys, you can look in the description section of the videos. You can find my company. With that, I don't want to do too much promos with that because I think it's a serious subject we're talking about. But if you go to the YouTube channel, especially on Mr. Short Dollar, you'll see all the information there. But again, I want to tell you again, thanks for all the love and support. We're at 3,150 subscribers. We want to hit 5,000 subscribers on Change Your Lives this year.
Yeah, 5,000.
Bold goal, but I think we're able.
Right.
As long as I be consistent, do what I'm doing, I feel like y'all gonna be able to push you, let y'all people know to subscribe to the channel and do it, especially if you are in that category, you're a parent, single parent, married, black mother, black father, it don't matter what, you're just a parent, period. I want to have the open discussions with a guy because it gets tough, and a lot of times people get holistic advice and talk so much about what their kid did right, and we know most of the time they, when they do things wrong, it's kind of embarrassing and scary. You don't really have nobody to go to. So I try to be transparent in regards to, hey, my kids did this right, but they also did this stuff wrong. And we kind of be like a little sounder board to help each other get through some of the rough times, okay?
That's right.
So, again, thanks for all the love and support. Y'all be safe. Love y'all, and talk to you soon.